Wow. Ugh. 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 Well, look who it is.
Hello, is this for YouTube or just for fun?
It's on... Oh, I always forget to do that part. It is on YouTube as well right now. But you're an anonymous voice, so you can say whatever you like. And I'm the only one who will catch consequences. I'm the only one.
Oh, hooray!
Mm-hmm. There it is. I always forget this part, and I'm like, I wonder why no one joined the stream this time. Oh, that's right, I didn't post it anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't see it on my YouTube page, that's why I was confused. But now it's there. And I'm watching live twice.
Nice.
Once in a YouTube chat for your benefit, and once in a Discord chat for my benefit.
Perfect, amazing. Please keep racking up those watch hours. I really need it for the scam I'm trying to run, where I want to have healthcare.
Oh shit, that's deep.
Yeah, I'm
not sure if I want to be involved in that. Actually, I may have to go.
No, traitor. Hello, I'm 25 years old, and in the United States you lose your parents, you lose the use of your parents' insurance, I believe the day you turn 26 years old. And, I'm certainly not getting any insurance through my employment, so... Although, on the other hand, this is not exactly helping either, because today we're doing, the Pride Javelina exhibit, and yeah, YouTube just kind of demonetizes all of that stuff, so this isn't helping either.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind of playing.
Stuff is being demonetized Pride Month?
Oh, always. They've always got something. It's always
nasty.
Well, we know why. They just think it's kind of icky. They think it's a little nasty. Speaking of nasty,
I just realized that, I'm finally, my Pride era of COVID, it's over. The COVID is over, and now I can do Pride stuff if I want it.
Oh yeah, you're recovered from the novel coronavirus.
Yeah, that I got on June 1st.
Ooh.
The most Pride homophobic shit stutter. I'm tired. I'm a little cooked mentally.
Yeah, you just had COVID for 2 weeks.
2 large stores today, yeah. Well, I only had COVID for 1 week, and then I was still isolating, and today I finally broke out.
Nice.
Into the world.
I
mask.
I had COVID in... Does it matter? It's like February, March, something like that. Maybe even late January. I'm really forgetting now. And yeah, I was supposed to go to a conference. I was 1 day away from driving to a conference, and I suddenly felt very bad one evening, and I was like, well, that's not great, but my breathing is fine, so it might not be COVID. Maybe I finally gave myself food poisoning. Because I happen to be a very good cook. I lived on my own for 5 years, and now I've had a roommate co-host for a year, and I have yet to poison myself or my roommate co-host.
My dad and I are both having a little bit of digestive discomfort, and I'm wondering if I didn't cook the bacon well enough this morning, but I'm probably just being paranoid.
I think bacon is kind of hard to like, you can...
Yeah.
You definitely don't have to crisp it up the way some people do.
Yeah, I got it, like... I think I like it about 70% of max crispiness. Air fryer bacon is so good. It's like the best bacon texture. And then if your air fryer is like really clean, you can just pour out the bacon fat into a container.
Nice.
So it's like super easy. And I just strained out the bacon fat, and so now we've got a little tub of bacon fat, which I love to use to cook. It's nice.
I have made several accidental duplications of this light. I'm not doing well. Yeah, I felt pretty bad for about a week, and then of course, roommate co-host sadly did not stand a chance. I'll put it that way. Like,
yeah, I did my best to keep my dad from getting sick, and I like succeeded for a few days, but
yeah.
We share a 3-room apartment together. So.
Yeah, kind of the same here. Kind of the same here. There's the 1 bedroom, the 1 bathroom, and then the rest of the apartment is one contiguous room.
Yep, that's exactly what we've got going on here. But at least we don't share a bedroom, but we do share a bathroom and a kitchen.
Yeah. Speaking of pride, me and my roommate do share a bedroom, so.
And they were roommates.
And they were roommates, yes. There we go. Finally got it working. So, last week I told a couple of stories on here that were fun, but I neglected to tell the third story, the third thing that happened to me that week. And
part 3 of a trilogy. This is fun.
Yeah, part 3 of a trilogy. If you give me a second, let's see. The first story I told was about... oh, God. It would have been about the... So I went camping last week, in the middle of the week, and on purpose, so that I would not... have to deal with there being large crowds, and, so that myself and my friend I was camping with could get, like, first of all, just get a camping spot, and secondly, to not have to deal with, like, screaming kids, or really just anybody. When you get into that, when you need to not see any strangers, but also not be isolated inside your home, it's kind of a hard situation, and camping is really the only thing you can do about it.
Yeah.
So,
I saw this camping furniture at Costco today. It's not important. It was just very, like, bougie, and I feel like that's a little bit anti-Semitic to the whole vibe of camping.
Oh, people love their bougie camping stuff. For sure. So
I'm sorry, I interrupted your story.
Well, the first... Shut up! Every time you do that, you need to open up my stream in a separate tab, so I get more watch hours. That's your punishment. And you're not allowed to mute it either. You have to listen to the stream 5 times over. Anyway...
You can have me open up multiple copies of your stream in private tabs, but they will be muted if you want me to do that.
Okay. You do whatever feels best. I'll leave your punishment up to you. But anyway, so the first story I told on stream last week was about the family who pulled up to this campsite that I delusionally thought we would have to ourselves, like 30 minutes before sundown, which sucks because we almost made it, right? People don't show up past sundown to set up tents. They just get a hotel somewhere. So we were very close, and, in just the nick of time, this family shows up to, to ruin everything and be extremely loud. 3 kids, 2 adults, awesome. And fortunately, they did eventually move away. I may have used some, we'll say, aromatics to encourage that. Might have lit something that would encourage someone with small children to move further away. They weren't
like
that small.
That skunk stuff that you can get. That's very skunky. That kids hate.
Yeah, we'll say it was something like that. And they did eventually move away, probably unrelated. And hey, I wasn't trying to gas them on purpose.
You were just doing what you went there to do.
I was just doing what I went there to do. And fortunately, they did move away. But like after sundown, they end up. They just kind of keep doing. They keep backing up and going over and, you know, trying to pull out of the camping area, or it looks like they're trying to pull through, and then they're pulling out. And then eventually they go backwards up a trail to a different camping spot, which fortunately at least did not have line of sight with where we were. So we were in this whole campground with nobody in it, and they first pull up to be right next to us. And then after that they moved to another adjacent camping spot, but like I said, no line of sight, so if I can't see them, I can tolerate that. You're still gonna hear them a little bit, but it sounds more like, you know, screaming animals in the forest, which I find cathartic and relaxing.
Yeah, you just pretend that they're more creatures.
Yeah, this is not even. I'm not doing great in the symmetry department.
No.
Ugh. So I always have problems zooming in this game. Come on, let me in. Let me in. Ugh, let me in.
Like hold Shift or Alt to change how you control the camera.
There's got to be a manual zoom, but I'm just so stupid. Well, I am using a manual zoom. I probably need a button that'll do it. Anyway,
they're page up and page down, or plus and minus on the num key might help. I don't know.
Nope. Anyway, so that was that story. It ends with one of the grown-up, like the truck leaves in the middle of the night, which was also weird. But you know, it was back in the morning, so there wasn't any like, you know, oops, I murdered my whole family and left them in the woods, and now, you know, because you were the one who paid for your campground ahead of time, you're the only person listed as being in the area, so now you're a suspect. None of that. Don't know if I can't say for sure if there weren't any murders, but I know that whichever person had left with the truck had returned by the morning. And then I honestly don't remember what the second story was.
Well, that's alright. That's the one that you already told, right?
Yeah, I think I already told it.
It's okay, you can live there.
I think I already told it. If you want to hear it, go back.
Yeah, viewers.
But
future viewers, go
back,
watch more,
viewers.
But, like, come back to this once you've seen the stories or
listen
whatever.
To both
just, like,
streams
make sure...
at the same time.
Yeah, listen to them both at the same time, and then also watch them twice, so that you make sure you absorb the full amount of the content. So
right.
Just have them both on, but only watch one, and then have them both on, but only watch the other.
Yeah, and then after that, you can donate to my... tell your friends. You can send me money on PayPal.
Yeah, buy me a coffee.
But
you should have one of those buy me a coffee links. If you don't, maybe you do.
I don't right now. I guess I could, but I'd have to look up, like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't remember what the second story was. I'm a little afraid that there were actually only 2 stories, and what I'm currently thinking of as story number 3 from last week is in fact story number 2 that I'm about to retell. So again, just go rewatch those things 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 times, and eventually, like, you'll arrive at the truth. But like, don't tell me. I don't want to know. So the story I think I didn't tell on stream last week was when we were getting lunch in town. So a rural area, not at the campground. So I mean, there's a restaurant. It's not that out of the way, but it's still a little bit out of the way. And we sit down at this restaurant, my friend and I, and I'm complaining about people who, particularly here in Tucson, people come from all over to visit our national parks, our state parks. We happen to have several of these in the area. And so anytime you go to, for example, Sabino Canyon or Saguaro National Park, I think it's an actual park and not a monument, there's people from all over. These include people who are traveling with animals. That's all good and well. However, the origin of my complaint, both then and now actually, I'm still complaining about this, is that there are many trails out here that are marked as not for dogs. Don't bring your dogs here. And the reason for this is manifold. One of them, in particular, is that your dog, even if it's a service animal, right? Because that's always the first objection, is this is a service animal. I mean...
Well, there's like rattlesnakes, right?
Yes.
Like, I've been on horseback trails near Saguaro National Park, I think. And I've walked over rattlesnakes while on horseback.
Yeah,
Diamondbacks, yikes.
There's snakes everywhere out here. So there's a good reason to not bring your dog. There's a very good reason not to
Especially
bring
not your service dog.
Yeah. Although people lie about having service animals all the time, and you can just buy a service animal vest on Amazon, seriously. So.
Well, I mean, okay. If we're gonna get into it, you should be able to do that, and that's not a problem. And there's other reasons, because that's the thing. I have a whole thing about this, and I'm not sure if I should go on the rant or not.
Well, you might want to hear my objections first, because this is a great example.
I'm sure I agree with your objection, but like, I'm not objecting to buying Amazon vests on Amazon or having that available for people. I don't think that that's a bad thing. That's
sure.
all.
I mean, we'll say that these are things that should be accessible, and if what you're trying to do is lie to a landlord about, if they want to apply some kind of horrific fee, but there's an out if you have a service animal, I'm all for lying to your landlord. Go ahead and do that. The issue that we're going to run into in this story is someone bringing an animal into a restaurant that is not trained to not urinate inside of said restaurant. So that's where this is going.
Yeah, every real service dog can be kicked out for behaviors like that, even if it is a real service dog. But the only requirements for a service dog to be a service dog is that it's a dog trained and it has to help with a disability. So it doesn't have to be official, it doesn't have to be documented, and that's good for the protection of disabled people. But you do lose those privileges if your dog misbehaves in a public environment, but because people don't know that, they'll get intimidated, especially by people who make threats about their service dog, about legal action for getting kicked out. But if your dog can't behave, it loses its rights as a service dog until you train it to behave. Anyway,
right.
Sorry, this dog pissed where it shouldn't.
Or, there's just, in many cases, reasons not to bring an animal. For the former conversation, the fact that there's snakes around, but also it doesn't matter. There's no amount of training a dog that can make it not a biological hazard in a nature reserve, and that's one of the. I mean, that's primarily the thing that I was bitching about at this particular time, was that there are so many trails out here that are marked as, this is a natural reserve, and any interaction with a domestic animal, it does not matter if they are trained, they are going to have to get rid of their waste at some point, and that your dog is carrying maybe not parasites, hopefully not parasites, but definitely microbes and other kinds of things that they get in the soil. Wild animals that are supposed to be here that evolve to live in this area did not evolve to have immunities to the kind of, diseases that your dog might be carrying, that it's not infected by. There's all these kinds of common sense things. And of course, tourists, and unfortunately also locals who want to bring their animal, their dog, onto a trail, just kind of don't care. They just think like, well, I'm special, or well, I can't leave my dog in the car, which is fine. But then,
they
like,
don't understand the problem, right? Like, it's an education thing. Like, they think they know why dogs aren't allowed, and they think that they're not part of the problem just because they're misguided about what the problem is, right?
I think they know, because the signs all pretty clearly delineate. Well, if they don't read, then I guess they don't know. But the signs do pretty clearly delineate, like, this is a nature preserve. We can't necessarily keep people out because it's public land, but, like, you can't bring your dog. And a lot of people
what I'm saying is
that
if they assume why dogs aren't allowed and then think that their dog doesn't apply, because if they think it's about, like, behavior instead of, like, waste, then they're like, oh, my dog behaves well, so it'll be fine. My dog's not going to damage the environment, because they don't understand how a dog would damage the environment with their waste.
Sure,
they would think it's a different, like, behavioral thing instead of,
but
like,
only if you can't read, because or choose not to. And it's not like, the examples I'm thinking of, none of these dogs had a service animal vest anyway. They were just people's dogs they wanted to bring on a trail. There are plenty of trails in town that you can go to. If you're avoiding parks because you don't like that certain people live there, that's, again, sorry, but, like, you can't. Your animal is a danger to the wildlife, and you're feeling like you don't want to use a park just because people live there. It's not. You're not making two wrongs don't make a right.
There's also going to be a dog park where that's, like, not so much of a problem, but, like,
I'm sure there is. I have no idea where there would be a dog park here in Tucson, but I'm sure it's around here somewhere.
I mean, it must be, right?
I have no idea, because I don't own a dog.
No, I may be misremembering some details of this, but my grandpa used to raise, I think, leopard frogs for the park to help with population issues. So he had, like, a special pond and would, like, raise the tadpoles and the frogs and, like, help the park because he lived nearby, and it was all. To be clear, he's very, like, well educated in the subject, so.
Yeah, I mean,
it's all above board.
My understanding is he was quite an authority on the subject matter. As a matter of
he was
fact.
the first state herpetologist in all of Arizona. He's a big deal in
there you go.
biology and ecology.
Well, anyway, so I was complaining that people don't respect, the fact that they can't just bring their dog anywhere they feel like, and there are good reasons for that. One of which being you're in a nature preserve, and yes, your dog is a hazard even if it doesn't, like, try to catch and kill anything. But one of the other good reasons to not allow animals is if it's a health hazard, particularly if you are in say a restaurant and the animal that is with you is urinating, I assume. So that's part of a little bit of ambiguity in this story. So we're sitting down, we're getting food, I'm complaining about the aforementioned grievance.
Right.
And an old lady walks in with her two dogs. One of them is one of the little white crusty guys, and the other one is her husband. So she sits at the booth.
I was like, two service dogs? Like, you can't like say that they're both service dogs. If there were two dogs, but you were making I was making a yoke. Yeah, she
she's got this animal, and I don't think she was claiming it was a service dog either. There was no vest on. This is just an animal. And I understand that emotional companion animals are a thing too. That's totally a thing too.
They don't get restaurant privileges.
But they don't get restaurant privileges because the rules on what that type of animal, that type of registered companion, whatever, the rules are even more relaxed, right? So there's no guarantee that it knows not to do its business inside of a restaurant, and that's exactly what happened here. So this dog disappears underneath the booth, and I'm not paying too close attention.
Booth, right? Their
not
booth?
No, we were at a table off to the left, thankfully.
Okay.
And I'm not paying that much attention because old white people in Payson, Arizona, it's like sand in the desert. Not really noticeable. I'm side-eyeing the fact that there is an animal inside the restaurant that probably doesn't belong there, but whatever. Until it turns into not whatever, because I look over again and I notice that this lady is on her hands and knees, wiping something up and throwing it away in the trash and then getting more napkins and like continuing to wipe something up. I didn't smell anything, so I'm going to assume that the dog just piddled inside, which is still not great. All the piddle warriors in the comments will say, but it's sterile. Yeah, no.
It's not.
It's not.
That's not true.
And that's still not... That doesn't mean it belongs in the restaurant, okay?
No, it does not belong in a restaurant. Yeah.
No. So that's cool.
You can train a dog to be okay with that kind of thing, but like... Ugh.
And it's not fair to the dog either.
No.
Because a lot of dogs are trained well, and maybe the dog wasn't given an opportunity to go outside, and so they feel a lot of like stress and anxiety from going inside because they know that they're going to get yelled at or whatever. So it's also not kind to the dog to put them in a situation like this, to be clear. Anyway, the manager comes over.
Are you trying to be symmetrical with the purple lamps across the tree?
I'm half-assing it.
Okay, sorry, it just was distracting me.
I'm doing it to make you mad on purpose.
Aww.
Yeah. So, the manager comes over with another employee. Oh, great. And the manager makes what I would say is a pretty fair deal. So we've got an animal that has done its business inside of his restaurant that he's supposed to be managing. And also, you can get shut down for something like that. There's the health code, and its violations are not something to be messed with as a manager, right? You gotta be on top of that stuff.
Yeah, now the whole flow of the work in the restaurant is goofed because you have to make sure that fucking dog piss gets sanitized because it's not sterile. It needs to be sterile. Also, eating food is a very smell-based experience.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it sure is. It really, truly is.
Should know. I just had COVID and lost my sense of smell. I couldn't taste my dad's egg salad.
Oh no. Well, the manager made a very reasonable offer. Which is, I don't think he even specifically pointed out, hey, I know your dog just did this. He just very high level, very politely was like, we have a health code that we have to stick to, and we can't have an animal in here. So what I'm gonna offer is let's move you to the patio because there is abundant outside seating. And we'll get your meal to go so you guys can enjoy it outside. I think
nice.
The dog would be
way nicer than they needed.
I think the dog would be more comfortable with that. I think all the other people in the restaurant would be more comfortable with that. this lady not impressed. And so she says, I don't know who you are. I've never seen you here before. I'm inferring from this comment that she must be a regular of this Culver's restaurant. Culver's is for the people who don't know, a chain of, we'd say, like Midwestern food. So it's mostly cheese curds, really thick milkshake, stuff like that. Heart Attack in a Box. And so she says, well, I've never seen you at this Heart Attack in a Box store before, and that means you're a stranger and you're being aggressive and you need to go away. So she is trying to make the manager leave his restaurant. Interesting move.
Thank God.
And then she says, you need to leave or I'm calling 911.
What the fuck?
Yeah. Oh, hey,
Oh my God.
Mr. Bird's in the
Wait.
chat. Hello.
Oh shit!
You can jump in the
Mom
voice
and
chat
Dad
if you
together
want.
At last.
Well, what if the dog sits like a people?
People.
Well, if you're gonna sit like a people, then you need to have like.
I mean, you need to piss like a people.
Yeah.
Really.
I'm not carrying that bit anywhere. Yeah, so she threatens to call 911 because she's being harassed by the manager of this establishment. And the manager says, I don't think that's necessary, ma'am.
My ass would be like, okay, yeah, let's let's bring the police here to sort this out. This will work out well for you.
Yeah, I think the cops are definitely, there's nothing going on. This is definitely the most important thing is
I mean, it probably is a better use of their time than whatever they were gonna do anyway.
Well, so there we get into the complex, to what degree is it is it cool to, how much harm is appropriate in the aims of taking opportunities away from police to be doing harm. But in this case, I can't think of a single thing a cop is going to do in the situation that would make the situation better. And accordingly, we at this point we have like finished our lunch and we're out. So I can't say for sure what happened. Whether she agreed to leave and move outside or whether she actually sat there until the Payson police arrived. I will say that actually no, this was a different situation. I was going to say I encountered a shocking number of like vehicle accidents and like vehicle based like searches on that day, but that's not true. That was when I was driving across 2 states on Memorial Day, which was also pretty nuts. Seems like
we've encountered too many of them. Just kind of as a flat. Because I don't think, maybe once or twice in my entire life have I like witnessed something like that.
Like
a car search.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Well, I saw 2 on that particular day, and like a major accident in I think every single major city that I drove through, and by this definition, Show Low is a major city, so keep in mind that that's quite small. I was driving through rural areas. Mm-hmm. And with that in mind, happy 4th of July in like 3 weeks. A time in which people across this country take it upon themselves to blow themselves up and go to the hospital in droves. And they drink and drive, and they set fires everywhere. So, I mean, I'm a little nervous because Arizona right now looks like a tinderbox. We had a really wet winter, and so there's and a really dry spring and a very hot, dry summer. So there's just kindling everywhere.
Right.
Let's go hang out with one of our... This is Hugo. He's one of the pigs who lives in the Pride exhibit.
I forgot this was a zoo.
Yeah, it's a zoo.
We spent so long just working on that rainbow building.
Yeah. I think they're all booking it to, I think this is the only place you can get food in town so far. I haven't put in like a Piggly Wiggly's or anything like that. I need to make a gay little restaurant. Happy Pride. Mr. Bird Happy says, Pride. Had a wildfire breakout 5 miles from here 2 weeks ago. That's, I mean, also on par. Unfortunately, California is also going to burn, probably. The whole West is a tinderbox right now, and you can mark your calendar as soon as, it becomes... Well, that doesn't even really matter, because it's only legal to set off fireworks in Arizona, like, the 3rd, 4th, and 5th of July, as well as a few other holidays, but as soon as July 1st rolls around, people are blowing things up, and they will continue. Yeah. They will continue basically until the fires start. That's usually when they stop, unfortunately. So you can set your watch in half a month. The West, very good chance that at least portions of the western United States are going to be having some fire trouble. So, before any of that happens, go put fuel in your tank in your car, and get some water bottles. This, like, in particular, if you live in a rural area.
Concern. Yeah, I was about to say, do you think that's a concern for me in Austin, Texas? Probably not, right?
Well, I've not been to Austin, so I don't have an idea of like what the urban. I mean, you guys always have power outages that last, fairly long because you're on your own stupid little grid. So I would say you should probably be more thinking about, potentially being without electricity for several days if there is. I mean, like rural fires.
I don't remember ever having like a really long power outage.
Yeah, you might.
Says, "Hey Siri, add a reminder to tell everyone that Ben predicted wildfires. Send tweet."
Hey, you can set it to your watch. It happens every single year. It isn't always a huge catastrophe. I'm not hoping for it to be a huge catastrophe this year, but you never know.
I kind of think you got a point.
Well, and you also got to keep in mind that election years are worse because everyone is being... not everyone. Certain people are being extremely performative. And they think that causing wildfires is patriotic. I don't really follow, but... you do you, boo. And, if we start having a huge wildfire problem in the next couple of weeks, I told you so. Again, I don't want that. It's bad. In a place like Texas, if you've got... Again, I would need to look at how your grid works.
Yeah, I haven't dealt with the, extremely long power outage that you were talking about. We have had power outages, but the only ones that I remember are not the February of this year, but last year when the trees were exploding.
Yeah, that'll do it.
We had some power outages for a couple hours, and then this year, I think it was specifically my building, the power is flicking on and off for an hour, which I have smart lights. So the smart lights, it was late at night, and every 5 to 10 minutes the lights would turn on.
Oh, that's
drove me
intimidating.
Crazy.
That's
intimidating. And then because the Wi-Fi was off, I couldn't turn them off using the Wi-Fi, so I had to manually get out of bed and turn them all off.
That sounds fun.
Yeah. But the first time I waited for the Wi-Fi to come back and then I turned them off using the Wi-Fi. Mistake. Oh wait, Chili has Chili thinks we finally fixed our power, I guess. Which I would say that I probably have experienced. I have not experienced the power outages because I moved here after the crazy winter where everybody in Texas was losing their minds. I moved here after that and have not dealt with crazy problems.
Well, and again, depending on where you are, there are if you're out in the middle of nowhere, you know, an outage a fire very far away can affect you. If you're somewhere where you've got plenty of backup generators, and imagine like a big city like Austin, I imagine it's a lot harder to lose power there. You'd probably be more likely to deal with brownouts, where if there's like a huge strain on like the electric grid, even if it's not about to go out, they may still selectively like black out certain areas or have like a rolling blackout, like it's going to be out for a few hours, just so that, you know, electricity in areas with like a hospital doesn't. But that's mostly a concern if you're getting your electricity from somewhere else and you've got power lines running through rural areas. So in like the mountains in the eastern side of Arizona, that's like a problem. Like fires well away from you can impact you, not just because you might find yourself in an evacuation zone, but also if the power lines go down when a fire happens, there may not be an alternate like in the grid. There might not be energy coming from somewhere else. But being prepared for an evacuation is really easy. Just, you know, make sure your gas tank is full, fill it up regularly. Gas is like 20 cents cheaper right now for no reason in Arizona. I don't know what it is everywhere else, but it's been stuck at like $3.79 for months for no reason. It was really, really low for a long time before that. It spiked up and it stayed there for several months. Now it's back like 10 or 20 cents cheaper. But yeah, just being prepared to evacuate, even if it's an extremely unlikely scenario, can be that simple. Just having that and some water. If you're feeling, you know, particularly if you want to get extra credit on being prepared for stuff, a first aid kit and some snacks is also not a bad idea. Unfortunately, like, it's hot as hell out here, so anything I put in the back of my car... Oh, thank you. Cool. That's really nice. Doing that, like, directly on the beach. Who is this guy? Hugo? You're getting renamed. Shitter.
Didn't we already do that to, like, one of the leopards?
No, his name is Dookie. And, in fact, Dookie has died, like, twice over. So,
what?
I think we're on, like, Dookie the Third. Let's go check in. Oh, I haven't renamed this one.
What type of animal? Okay, so it was a leopard. I couldn't remember if it was a leopard or an ocelot and just picked one. I'm glad I picked the right one.
Congratulations.
Is that a treadmill? No, it's a trough.
Yeah. I would put a treadmill in here if I could. My name is Dookie 3.
That's in a treadmill at a zoo.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised in this game, but in a real zoo.
I did give Dookie a pizza oven. That is...
Why?
What do you mean, why? So they can make pizza?
You're so right.
The frog statue. I think Nugget is still around. Yep, here's Nugget.
Oh, the frog statue. Love it.
There's
Who's
Nugget.
I don't remember Nugget.
Nugget is
Nugget.
a cassowary. Nugget is 35 and a half years old. She's 35.5 years old, single female, and I happen to know another 35 and a half year old single adult who might be looking for love. So if that's you, check out Nugget. She's a little different than maybe someone you might have considered dating in the past, but, you know, keep an open mind and don't be intimidated by the fact that, you know, she made it this far, so she's pretty independent. She can also kick you in half because she's a cassowary.
Yeah, I'm kind of mostly concerned about... I mean, like, people are into being crushed by thighs, right?
Well, it's different.
Yeah,
it's
exactly
a little different. Thigh. But some people are, and yeah. I'm not gonna spill the tea, and I'm not gonna talk about the preferences that the single 35 and a half year old may or may not have, but we'll put that out there. I think I need a little bit more lighting on this Joe Camel. Anyway, Oh, I guess the camels are all hiding out in the... Oh, I gave them a pizza oven too. That's so nice of me. I think it's really fun that they don't put any restrictions on what you can put inside of an exhibit. There's no... The game does not have any problem with the fact that there are 2 Jeeps inside of this exhibit. Or a bunch of active flames. We also got... Oh my god. The Lemur City, which is continuing to increase in population, even though I could stop it, but I'm choosing not to, because I think it's fun to just kind of let the game go out of control. We got this guy who has to deal with the obnoxious lights from the... I feel like I had a different story that I was going to pivot to, but it's gone. Let's try to find some other fun things to put in here. Let's see. Oh, just more Jeeps. I feel like I need a hot pink Jeep on the beach. I think that's definitely necessary. Okay. Advance, move, and rotate. Oh, I have a story about driving through Sholo on Memorial Day, which involves a little bit of knowledge that I feel like a certain type of person could really benefit from knowing, and that would be what is actually in the United States flag code. So, a couple of years ago, I know it's going to be really exciting here. A couple of years ago, I was driving through Sholo on Memorial Day. And Sholo is one of these, again, it's not the most rural of places, but it's also not really what you would think of as a city if you're living in somewhere like Phoenix or Austin. And it's got, you know, this is deep ruby red territory, so every single national holiday is a performance. I used to spend my Fourths of July in Springerville, which is even less of a city than Sholo, and they used to have these really incredible, like, 4th of July parades that started off when I first started doing these, when I first started watching these in, like, 2015, 2016, it was like, you know, here's the graduating class from 50 years ago that we're going to celebrate. Here's our firefighters, here's our police, here's the mayor, that kind of stuff. And it turned into, here's the graduating class from 50 years ago. Here's the entire fire department in every single engine, sirens blasting. Here's every single cop who works in like a 50-mile radius, sirens blaring. And then here's a guy driving around, and, you know, there's the small businesses, people would decorate little things, and it just became, you know, less a celebration of small town Americana and more like a Trump rally as time went on. And eventually, the last one that I saw would have been in probably 2018, something like that. And there was a guy who was driving around this, what would you call that? It was a trailer that had a cannon in the back. And I don't remember exactly what the mechanisms of this cannon firing were, but it was extremely loud. I think it was nitrogen. I think it was a nitrogen cannon. I don't think there was actual like pyrotechnics in it, but the important thing to keep in mind is that this is supposed to be about like small town Americana and like a bunch of small businesses getting together with little floats and making some very old people feeling special. And what it turned into was me sitting in what you would consider a small business and having to like duck under the like counter and putting my hands over my ears because this thing is rolling by and every 15 seconds is rattling the windows, blasting cannon fire.
Yeesh.
Which is really, really cool. That's not even the story I'm trying to tell here. Show Low has a gas station at one of the major intersections. So if you're coming up from Globe and the Salt River Canyon, there's a little gas station kind of at that first corner where you enter town. And on Memorial Day, they put as many American flags around the perimeter of this gas station as possible. They don't put them even far enough apart to not be running into each other, so it's just kind of like a contiguous wall of American flags. Okay, well, that's certainly a choice, but there you go.
Yeah, one really big flag would be more effective, wouldn't it?
You would think. But the thing I noticed, the thing I witnessed several years ago, which everyone is just shitting on camera. I can't stand. I need to put you sinners in broad daylight because I've had enough. I'm taking the clouds away. No more rain.
I'm just pooping, man.
Pigs, literally. Anyway, so I'm driving past this gas station, and one of it's got to be 200, at least 200, like flags on the perimeter. One of them has blown over, and this man stops in his car. There's no shoulder on this road. It's a two-lane, one direction, I think. And there's no shoulder, so he just kind of stops in his lane as I'm slowly driving by. Because someone has just gotten out of their car in the middle of the road. You slow down and you act careful in situations like that. And he books it. And I mean books it like a madman from his car and is running as fast as his little legs will carry him. I would say this person classified in what we would call a weekend warrior type person, so someone who lives in Phoenix but has like a trailer and believes in their bones that they are one of these rural livers and one of these people who like, no, I'm from a small town even though I work at Honeywell and I live in Phoenix 5 days out of the week. So this guy is booking it out of his car, probably a truck, and runs over to the American flag to pick it up and put it back like it's a child choking to death in the street. Like he's witnessing a spark over a gasoline canister. This guy is running with the urgency, like I mean, throw me a bone here. This guy is running as if like he is about to actually save someone's life, when as a matter of fact it is simply, I'm gonna be honest here guys, it's one of 200 American flags. And the fact that only one of them was knocked over is kind of incredible. And I know that in these kinds of areas, the flag is, it's a symbolic thing. Maybe he's trying to get on, like, he's trying to go viral on Facebook. But according to the flag code, and I know this because I'm a bad person and I went through the Boy Scouts of America program. We were just talking about this earlier. When a flag touches the ground, the respectful way to retire it is to light it on fire. There's a little ceremony, but you're burning that flag. And it's just so interesting how it used to be that people actually, I mean, I guess it's just never been, people haven't really ever respected the flag code, because you're also not supposed to put the flag on, like, clothes, you know, merchandise, stuff of that nature. I would say it's pretty disrespectful to the flag to say, since there is symbology in the colors, and it's supposed to represent all of us, I would say it's pretty disrespectful to say, turn it black and white and then paint a thin blue line on it to represent your approval of police, I would say is actually pretty disrespectful. And also, like, just so creepy. You guys know that that's freak behavior, right? Anyway, like, in the actual flag code, it is not only permissible to burn a flag, which would blow these people's minds because they act like burning a flag is an act of treason. It's not. Not only is it free protected speech, according to the Supreme Court, it's also what you're supposed to do when a flag touches the ground.
Yeah.
And I just want to say that in an America that is true to its word, you would have watched that man run at sonic speeds and pull out a pocket lighter and just burn it. Mm-hmm. Again, there's a little bit of ceremony. You're supposed to like fold it and present it and then burn it, but like that's what you're supposed to do. That's what the rule is. But who cares about that, right? Who cares about actually, you know? Who cares?
Well, I mean, I think there is, like, you know, kind of a devil's advocate argument that you could make that, like, the cultural ways of, like, showing respect and appreciation for the flag have changed since that flag code was written. And now it is understood that burning the flag is an act of free speech against the country, kind of culturally, instead of, like, just following the flag code, especially if you don't have that ceremony.
I would say that this 4th of July, every American should go on instead of going outside and setting fires and burning your country down and putting pollution in the atmosphere and all that good stuff, and wasting the time of firefighters and putting their lives at risk. You know, here in Arizona, there were a bunch of people who died fighting wildfires.
I will just never get over the, like, annoying, like, irony of, like, people, like, trying to celebrate, like, the freedom of the USA, and then they, like, trigger veterans for, like...
Exactly. Like, they
just make the country worse for a light show. Like, all the dogs are freaking out, all the people with sound sensitivity are freaking out.
You're blowing people's hands and fingers off.
You're lighting the country on fire. Like, you know what's worse than burning a flag? Like, actually burning your country.
Yeah, I'd say that's a pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable. I would say that instead of doing all of that, you should go inside and, you know, log into, like, your neighbor's or your cousin's Hulu account, and you should watch the Futurama episode where Zoidberg eats the flag and becomes a huge pariah, and then invades and occupies Earth. I would say.
I don't remember that episode.
Yeah. Attack of the Decapodians or whatever.
Man, I mean, it rings a bell, but I just don't remember it.
I'm just gonna put rhubarb on top of trees, I think.
Do I have a people's copy of Futurama?
I'm just gonna put rhubarb all over the tops of these trees. Hello. There we go.
Oh no. My microphone caught my burp.
Yeah, it sure did. It's okay,
it's
Zane.
Real.
Zane was on here last week, and he was like, you know, got something in his throat, right? Snorting like right into the microphone, and I didn't say anything because that's hilarious, and I just let him keep doing it.
Oh no!
I just let him keep doing it.
That's so cruel.
I think it's pretty clear that I'm so unprofessional in my like in the way that I engineer audio.
No, really? You called half of the country's freaks today.
Okay, I need suggestions for some fruity stuff.
I don't have a people's copy of Futurama. I'll have to get that fixed.
I'm gonna put a bunch of orchids around this this Jeep. The Barbie Jeep.
So good. Are you Knuff?
Am I Knuff?
Yeah.
I suppose we'll never know. Hello. I wish my job was beach.
Okay, are you saying hello to somebody?
Yes.
Who?
You got us some basil?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, is there somebody in the room with you?
Yes, the basil delivery guy showed up.
Okay.
We are going to see Furiosa tonight with some friends. So that's cool.
I might go watch Avatar: The Last Airbender with some friends tomorrow. One of my friends broke their leg and had to cancel their trip to Japan.
Oh, that's rough.
I feel so bad for them. And they like broke their leg while ice skating, so they can't compete this year.
Oh no.
It's like a brutal tragedy. So I really want to show up for them, but I'm like totally out of energy.
Yeah, after...
And they probably won't let me cook anything for them.
Yeah, after COVID.
Well, no, I mean, not just because of COVID, but, like, they don't seem to like sweets very much, which is what I specialize in, but also they probably don't have anything else that would be, like, easy for me to make or bring in that they would want, so... Because I've been symptomless for, like, a week, so I think I'm pretty good to go.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't leave home until I tested negative, which took about 2 weeks after I started isolating.
Okay, so I should test again? I'll test again.
Yeah, I would say that's a good idea.
Yeah, we've got 4 more tests. So.
Oh, if you've got them, use them, because they're not gonna be, you know, they're not gonna be usable the next time you get COVID. So.
Oh, I didn't know that they had like a short shelf life.
They do expire.
Okay, then. I mean, God, my dad. I shouldn't talk about it, but he's been just kind of a little reckless. He saw that the CDC recommendation was like, oh, you only have to isolate till like 1 day where you don't have your fever anymore, and then you can go back to work. And he thought that meant that he didn't have to wear a mask anymore, and that it was just fine.
Yeah, I mean...
This is fever stuff for a day. And the CDC said he didn't have to isolate anymore.
Well, we can talk about... Are you eating my hydrangeas? Diego!
I think he's just smelling them.
I think he's eating my hydrangeas. Pigs.
He's running away.
The stupid little run they
well.
do is so funny.
Yeah. They're pretty cute, though.
Have you encountered a javelina in the wild?
Oh, yeah. Like, whole packs of them at my grandpa's place, because it's kind of rural. Or just, like, a little bit outside of the city. But, yeah, no, there'd be, like, I don't know, like, 9 with the little babies that would come by. Because also we had a pond. So...
That'll do it.
And we'd, like, feed them appropriate edible scraps.
You gave them edibles?
No, when I say edible, I mean food that is safe for javelina to eat.
For people who don't live in a place like Tucson, Halloween is the unofficial favorite holiday of these critters because everyone puts pumpkins outside, and guess who loves eating giant gourds?
Oh, holy shit!
Are you shitting in the mud bath?
That's so funny. I didn't know that. And all the time that I was there, because I just didn't like live in the city and outside of the city where my grandpa lived. We didn't do that. I wasn't there at Halloween. I would only visit in the summer. So
It sure
But that
is.
makes a lot of sense, like, immediately. Oh my god, the way that they must be partying.
Yeah.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, if you don't care about having Javelina hanging around.
Yeah. I
think
mean,
I'm-
I don't, but that's because I'm kind of... I just know to not fuck with them.
Yeah, that's a pretty good lesson to learn. Just kind of don't go near
Just
them. Don't.
stay inside, stay away, let them do their thing.
Yeah,
They're
don't.
not, like,
They're not
gonna freak
pigs.
out if you don't fuck with them.
They ain't pigs. They're not friendly. Also, but like wild pigs are also not friendly. So that's
Wait, they're like they're not pigs? They're not wild pigs?
it. There's a whole children's book about it.
They're peccary. They are a type of wild... Oh, wait, no, they're not a type of wild pig. It's pig-like ungulate
Yeah.
of the family
Thyasuidae.
I pronounced it right on my first try?
Unfortunately,
Hell yeah.
that means Jinx, you owe me a soda.
Well, it wasn't Jinx on my end, because we probably said it at the same time in real life, damn it. But on my end, it was after me that you said it correctly.
You gotta pay up. I believe it goes to whomever.
Make me a copy link and I'll send you one.
Fine. Let's see. I think I'm just gonna put a bunch of mangroves here.
I
You know-
probably still owe you sushi for one reason or another. No, I think I paid my sushi debt.
I think you have, but I won't discourage the rumor that there may be additional.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I did drop you off at the airport at like 3 in the morning, so
It was 4 in the morning. I mean, same difference.
yeah.
Oh man, I remember you being like, you are not asking me to take you to the Phoenix airport, right? Because I will kill you.
Yeah, I would have, yeah.
I mean, you just wouldn't have done it. I think I would have just had to take like a Greyhound or something, which I probably would have done if I had to take the flight out of Phoenix.
Probably.
I miss Tucson, but I probably can't like stay there long term because of climate change.
Well, my warning, my my honest opinion on that is that areas which have been dealing with, high climate stress for a long time are gonna fare the first couple decades of serious, like, shit hitting the fan better because people in Tucson already understand when it gets too hot, you're gonna die if you don't drink water, if you don't stay out of the sun, if you don't have air conditioning. There's general awareness of, like, you don't mess around with that. It's usually when you look at people who come to Phoenix and then get seriously ill hiking, it's like Germans. People who don't understand that, like, it's hot here. You stay inside and inactive during those
Did
periods
you know
of
that
time.
Texas German is a real dialect of German, and that there was just a large enough settlement of Germans in Texas that they just have their own German in Texas?
That's interesting.
Yeah, I think that's where my family comes from. I think I'm a Texas German,
Wow.
like lineagely.
This place is a mess. It looks perfect. Let's put some more pigs in
Needs
here.
more pig shit. Yeah.
I'm only putting dude pigs in here because,
Ew, what's sexist? What the fuck?
well, if there was even one lady pig in here, they would all start fighting.
Oh. I was trying to think of like a men are pigs joke, but I couldn't think of one that would make it land. But
It's
the concept is
the joke.
there.
The joke makes itself.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll
If
just
they're gonna
add.
fight, then fine.
They've got enough space. They'll be fine. They're eating all my hydrangeas anyway. Power source failed. Really? Okay, so things are not going well inside the Pizza Hut.
Oh.
Which makes sense, I guess.
Can you make it a combination Pizza Hut and Taco Bell?
No, but I do have a Starbucks, I think.
Just put a Starbucks inside the Pizza Hut, like at Target.
I'll put it right next to it.
Oh my god, that font is awful.
Okay. Actually, honestly, the Starbucks belongs inside the gay pig city. That was almost a really rookie move on my part. Of course, this is where it goes.
Is that why you built the gay greenhouse?
Yeah.
In the male pig.
Yeah, and so
that a lot of like aesthetically pure gay sex can happen in there.
Now you're getting it. Now you're understanding. Okay. Starbucks goes right there. Nice.
Oh man, have you seen like the frog McDonald's?
No. What is Frog McDonald's?
It's like somebody has like a doll house McDonald's, and then there's just frogs in there, like real frogs at the McDonald's, at the toy McDonald's. But Frog McDonald's does not. McDonald's in it, frog in it. Where is it? Oh my god! No! Okay, well I found something that goes in the trunk.
Oh, cool.
Oh man. Oh man. Oh, that's an image. Copy image. Open up the trough.
So excited.
There.
Let's see it.
Oh man.
Oh.
I put it.
Okay. So
it's like a sister to the lizard pizza.
Yeah, which was pretty bad. This is, what is this? A McChicken?
Yeah.
Well,
that bun does not look like a McChicken bun.
I don't know.
I think this is like.
What is
like,
that?
how did the frog get in there?
That's a frog.
Yeah, I know the frog's there. What kind of sandwich is it in?
In a chicken burger. Sorry. I don't know why that's so funny to me.
Thank you. Yeah, it's a something burger with a frog in it. And the frog is just kind of like head first. It's just kind of, yeah, lost in the sauce is a good way to put it.
Wait, I think this was in Germany, so that's why the bun is different. Or like,
Oh,
no,
okay.
because that doesn't look like German to me, but it's like in Europe. There's more images! There's more images!
Why are there
Oh,
more
yes.
images of this?
There's more images! Oh my god!
I want to look. He said opening his phone. Oh, okay. Oh, and they
Took
got,
so many photos.
yeah. No, we have
Like, oh my god, there's one with a dog in it.
the exact date. Well, now we've come full circle. Oh wait, no, it's at home.
Yeah, it made it home, I guess. The McChicken burger.
That's
He
pretty
said
gross.
The frog was covered in mayonnaise.
Yeah, it looks like it's covered in mayonnaise.
Adding that a feeling of shock and absolute disbelief descended over the house like a shadow. You only see this in
burger?
movies, he said.
This is a real. This is a real.
But did one of our friends find that? Did they just
Oh,
see
no,
it.
this is from the internet.
um, I'll link the article.
Great. Thanks. I'll read that later, definitely.
Oh, it says South Africa. Okay. I just didn't recognize the language.
Okay. Well, I think... Yeah, it's been over an hour. I think we've made some good progress. Got some...
Wait, I need to find
the Barbie Jeep.
I found the one that I was actually looking for. That's
Okay.
much cuter. I'll just also put this in the trough.
You were looking... Something that was cuter? What?
Yeah, the frogs like running a McDonald's.
Oh, yeah, I see. Okay. That
Yeah,
that
it's
is...
adorable.
Yeah, that's better. I wouldn't go to Frog McDonald's personally, but that's just me.
I would go to Frog McDonald's. They're so polite.
Okay. Stupid. Alright, well, I'm going to leave it there. I will be back next Friday doing the same thing, but I'm actually sticking to the schedule I said I would, and I'm also streaming on Monday afternoons under my microscope. I'm looking at 80 million year old fish teeth and scales and things like that.
Micro Monday. I see the alliteration.
Micro Stream Monday, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy just
powerful.
ran right into just right up that other pig's ass. Just
Yeah?
phased into one another. Okay. Yeah, so that'll...
A sight to see. Oh my god, they stepped back at the same time. What the hell?
They're stuck in the same animation. Wow.
Hurting at the same time. What the hell? Okay. They
Now
finally
he's running
committed to
for
their
his life.
mitosis.
Yep. So yeah, Monday, probably 3:30 Arizona time, something like that. I want to get in more than an hour if I can, but it's also kind of exhausting, so we'll see.
Alright. Adios.
Adios. Goodbye. So long. Farewell.